Okay, testing, testing. I think it's all good. Hello and welcome back to some more Gems of War. I am Namek, and we're gonna have some fun. A little delayed from Monday, but I have been busy with homework and mostly homework. Actually, no, I almost forgot the big thing that happened recently. But my my phone battery decided to become a little spicy, and so I had to get that replaced. So it just is one of those like, whoop, yep, that happened. That wasn't so great. But yeah. Beyond that, it's mostly been homework. I've been dealing with a lot of homework this week. But I've got it all done, so I can now finally relax. Now that it's Saturday. And about the time that I will then need to start on next week's homework. Also, audio may be a little loud. Theoretically, it shouldn't be. Since I've been messing around with things and calling it good. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the key takeaway with anything I do. I don't know what it is. But yeah, this week we are using dragons for this journey event for the guild. Oh, yeah, just got a bunch of gunk in my throat. Not even necessarily, but maybe it's just a case of I haven't been talking enough. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Because outside of streams, I do not talk too much. Also, I will say, I had some good fun recently because I've started playing some Marvel Rivals again, and because I took a break from it due to a good old-fashioned case of well, I just was busy with so many other things. I still like had fun stuff, but it was just the case of like, well, I just like I don't have the time, which also means there should be some more Marvel Rivals clips coming up or going up on the VOD channel. I will also upload a bunch of the ones that I've meant to before, but just hadn't gotten around to it. So there should be a heavy influx of those soon. And as per usual, I'm just going to do one a day. Don't want to overdo it. I managed not to actually get a bonus turn out of all that. That is surprising. Today we are just doing the journey event. I probably won't be able to get the guild to the next milestone, but I figured I should make sure I throw my weight into it. After all, I'm asking everyone else to do that, so why shouldn't I? Please. Let's do that. It is the weekend, and I do hope everyone who is watching either now or on the VOD, I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Granted, I guess this VOD will not be out on the weekend, but whatever the time of day, week of day, whatever. Week of day, oh my god. Maybe I needed more sleep. Theoretically, I should have slept quite nicely. I went to bed on time. Yeah, went to bed on time and also I just refluffed my pillow. Probably would need to get a new one soonish, but I've been spending too much money. I'll put things up. I'll put that. What's it? Oh yeah. Theoretically, slept good, but maybe I did. Or maybe it's just because good old-fashioned case of I am just generally tired as soon as I start speaking because I don't speak enough. I so rarely actually end up talking just due to the fact that I don't really care to talk in person unless it's about a very specific thing. Then I can talk for ages. The wonders that is me are me. I can probably get bonus turn. Didn't. I managed not to. I got a bunch of purple. Did not get a bonus turn. I'll do that. Yeah, I was just like, that one gives me a bonus turn. It's quite nice. Deal some damage. Because really, he's going to be most of the damage. Trying to think. What have I done this week? Mostly Homer. I've done some Path of Exile as well. Not re-upped, but changed my build slightly. Mostly I was noticing I was getting a little crunchy at the end tier maps, and I was like, this thing is so great, and my damage was starting to slip. Mostly against the super boss enemies, it seems like that hasn't changed, but that was also the case for my totem build, so no surprise there. I've gotten myself some good upgrades, that is for certain. And so it's like, okay, this has worked out quite nicely. So my brain is braining as my brain does. And so it's like I've got some good, pretty awesome gear actually. I had like 200 chaos and I spent it all on gear, which I don't regret one bit, because usually like that ends up being the, the linchpin of like, okay, now I need to get gear, and it's either a case of like too much that I don't want to spend or can't spend because I don't have it. But this time I got really lucky. I got a bunch of fossil incubator things. I can't remember what they're called. But it's the 4-socket, be able to put 4 fossils in and then use them. And those were worth like 25 or 45 chaos, I can't remember. I was like, oh, that's wonderful. And so I got a ton of chaos that way. And then since then, I wish I could have a nice balance for my music. That way it's the constant, but that's the issue of having many different soundtracks. They weren't made for the same audio level in mind. Okay, what was that thing again? The gear and stuff. Yeah, got a ton of chaos that way, and I was like, I'm gonna get an uber awesome chest plate with tons of armor and energy shield, because I love using the mastery that makes it so that if you're doing full armor and energy shield items, then it is doubly, the chest plate is doubly as good. And so I get a lot of use out of that. And so with the new piece of gear, I got a lot out of it. I was like, whoo, this thing's wonderful. And then I finished up doing the different maps, and I spent pretty much the rest of my chaos. Not all the chaos, but most of it seemed to just go to the respec points. Because I had to shift over a ton of things, like half my build. It didn't look like I was going to need to do that. But when it came to actually moving things, it was like, oh dang, it's like 65 different things that I actually need to move. And it was largely just due to the fact that a lot of things like, oh yeah, I'm basically doing the same thing, but slightly different. And so it's like, I wasn't making big changes of like, I went to right and now I'm going to the left of the tree kind of thing. It is just like, I'm now doing this one little node instead of that little node. And it really felt like, dang, I'm really not not like super close to awesome efficiency, yet super far away. I did have to change one thing because I had to go and grab the wand node. Again, because I really need the fires in addition, wand attacks fire an additional projectile. Because otherwise it's just too slow to charge up the kinetic fusillade. And so it's like, theoretically, it's not going to change too much. But it really was like, you know what? The extra projectile really is effective, and it makes sense. Because in theory, you're doubling your damage kind of thing. And because of how a kinetic fusillade works, that actually can hit the same target. So it is effective single target damage increase as well. For that. Yeah. Oh, that worked. Oh, stretch. And I want to try and start doing blight maps because I have like a full map tab basically, just full of them, and I'm like, I know I was doing well with all the blight maps during my normal maps, getting a bunch of them from the reward, but whoo, I have a bunch of them to go through. I could also sell them for a lot of chaos because I looked at some of the prices and saw just like, that is a lot of chaos I can be selling these things for. But I like doing the blight maps because it's a tower defense mode. I love tower defenses. It is quite literally the case of like, I like these. Yes, my super fast ARPG also let me slap in a tower defense mode. And for a while, it really annoyed me because I loved it. However, there were just so many cases where it's like, there's too much stuff happening. I cannot get to where I need to be to put down the towers. Well, since then, or since that point, I had realized, or I found out, probably through like a Reddit post or a forum post, or my guild, honestly, that the freezing enchant for Blight Tower, the Chilling Towers, is so powerful. You slap it in Power Tower next to a Chill Tower, you max those both out. I don't even know if you need to max the empowering, but you want to max out the chilling just so it can hit more targets. But it just hard locks enemies to the point where it's like, yeah, they don't get to do anything. They just get stuck right there. Granted, eventually they'll build up and there'll be too many of them and some will slip through. But that's when you just have any form of actual damage. Oof. Yeah, that one nasty. We have some form of actual damage, and just kind of clean them up as they're spawning. But like as a stopgap, just like boom, 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 bunch of chill towers and power. And then for the enemies that can't be chilled, you slap down a stun tower, because high level stun with the empower just hits so often that it doesn't matter. It's just like, hello, you are now, you know, you will be stuck here until you die. And they don't even do that good of damage, but they do enough to, most of the time, take care of themselves. So it's like, since I learned that, I was like, oh, this is wonderful. And it's been so much fun, and it's given me a lot of loot. It is one of the best modes for me, for getting loot, for what I do. And it could easily be the case that I don't make good builds. Like, simple as that. And as such, Blight doesn't really require a good build. It requires one toy, basically. And that is just like, hello, you are stuck here. With, then every so often there's a few issues. Usually it comes in the form of like enemies can't be stunned, or enemies can't be their action speed cannot be reduced below their normal maximum, or whatever it says, because the cannot be stunned is an obvious, like, yeah, they can't be stunned, so stunning towers totally useless because, well, they can't be stunned. And the damage, not good. Granted, theoretically, I could upgrade them to the petrifying towers, and they'd actually be really good. Because it's similar, just... It's kind of funny. The chilling towers and stunning towers are their best at tier 3, because at tier 4, they become different things. The chilling towers either do the glacial cage, which kind of sucks, honestly. Like, you're usually slowing an enemy enough that they wouldn't get to the end of where they're caged off normally. So it's like, yeah, just do normal chill. And then the frostbolt, it's okay. It's good ice damage or frost damage, but it's not really needed. Oh, just a second. The cat needs attention. Okay, buddy. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. I think the cat was having a bad dream. Needed a reassurance. Every so often, he'll wake up like that and it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Now it's just demanding attention. He's a good cat. So he deserves the attention every so often. And by every so often, I mean basically anytime he ends up crying out for either woke himself up with a bad dream or whatever caused it. Whenever he just is demanding attention. Does not matter if I'm in the middle of the stream, because the animals take a little bit more precedent than whatever I'm doing. Because, I mean, in the end, I'm just playing a game and spouting random nonsense. Where the animal is like, hey, I'm here right now. La-da-doo-doo. Right, it's got a lot of mana. Right. Where was it? Somewhere in Path X, I'll talk about Blight, but I don't remember where I was gonna go from there. Um, yeah. Oh, actually, I will talk about as well. I've been loving the new tabs, the merchant tabs, that have allowed you to just go like, yes, I would like to sell this thing at this price. They they can come to my hideout whenever and pick it up. And it has been incredibly useful. To the point where it is like I mean, I still wish there was a bit more space, but like I have gotten probably 30-40 chaos from the merchant tabs since the 2 weeks, I want to say, that the league has started. And on top of that, I have also gotten like probably 80 or maybe 100 alchemy orbs, honestly. Which actually, now that I thought about it, it's a brilliant play by me. Because okay, I got no extra change. Brilliant play by me, because I know so many people are always needing more alchemy orbs to try and sustain their mat farms. And so I'm just like, ah, sweet. I'm just gonna get mine passively by just selling junk item. Aw, dang it. By just like selling junk items. Yeah, still might as well poke. Oh, you gotta be kidding, I didn't get a bonus turn. Very unfortunate this week, it seems. Usually it's quite effective, but apparently not this week. Okay, good, good, good. Back now. Low overkill. And another one of these. That should be good. But yeah, it's just like being able to just sell whatever junk that I'm just like, I don't really care to have this or whatever. It's been so nice. Because pretty much what I do is if I think the item is good, but I don't want to just truck it, I do put it for now. But for the most part, I make sure that the item is at least worth a chaos. Is at least worth the chaos. And then that way, hopefully I get a chaos out of it. But if I don't, like after a day or two or whatever, I decide, okay, it's probably not going to sell at a chaos. I'll just put it up for an alchemy. And honestly, I've noticed with so many things that not as soon, but like when I put it up for just the alchemy orb instead of the chaos, they tend to sell overnight, and it is so nice because largely it's a case of like, this is going to be junk to either way. I'm at least getting a chaos, or I'm getting an alchemy out of it. When it's the case of like, oh yeah, this is completely useless, I do not worry, and I go to the disenchanter and the one place I could ever remember what it's called. But I make sure to I just disenchant it then, like, yep, this probably wouldn't buy anything, and I can get some good stuff from the shipping. Nice, do that. So it's like I can get some good stuff via the shipping, and then like I pretty much never vendor anything unless it has like the +1 to 2 to socketed gems, because then you get like 4 parts of an alchemy out of it. So it's a case of like no one actually cares to buy these, but I can just vendor them and get some just vendor them and get a little part of a of an alchemy orb. How'd I get survived by 1? Okay, just a second. I think there's another cat outside my door who wants me to let them out because, yeah, I'm the one who can let cats out apparently. So I will be right back. Maybe right back. Just put that. Okay. Back at it. Yeah, one of the cats is just like, I want out, and you're the only one who'll let me out. Get up, otherwise they're gonna just continue meowing the entire way through. And also mostly it's just like I don't want to let them just, you know, get stuck in here when they can't actually be outside having fun and all that. I didn't even get a single match. Oh, time to blow up the board. La la do you. Where was I? Yeah, shipping, disenchanting, that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's move on. Talk about Marvel Rivals for a bit. Had some fun. Because it's been a little bit, I've been incredibly out of practice. But on Friday, I had some fun. I did some matches. I got a full single match to play Gambit as. And it was really fun. I had like no idea what I was doing with them. I had read the kit, but I didn't fully understand how the what's-its did the thingamabobs. You know, the usual case of like, I see there's something supposed to be happening, I just don't understand what. And even then I did alright. Didn't do great, but I did alright. Though he was really fun to play. It was also quite fun because I was like, I'm doing amazing, this is great. I mean, we got our butts kicked, but it still was like, this is awesome. It also felt awesome whenever I saw Black Panther, I kicked its butt. Like, I think that's my favorite thing, is that Gambit is such a hard counter to the common occurrence of Black Panther ganking your healers, because Gambit can just go like, no, we don't do that here. and just Uno reverse it. It is wonderful, honestly. Huh. Aw, dang it. But yeah, so it's like, it was super fun. Not very effective, but super fun. Huh? It replicated. But most matches I was just tanking as the thing, and he does not do too great anymore. It was quite sad, to say the least, because I used to use him a lot. He used to do really great when he was around, when he was first released, but it's definitely just been the good old-fashioned case of like, yeah, he's been hit with some nerfs, and others have been hit with some buffs, and he is no longer as good as I was back when. Well, is no longer as good as when I was good with them. Granted, some of it's definitely skill, but definitely some of it is like, ooh, I could usually at least jump to the target and back. I don't know, like there's quite a few games where I was just like, and I see the enemy and I get killed. Like, and it could also easily be cases of like completely mismatched teams where they were just like target acquired, boom, 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 you know, annihilation kind of thing. But definitely felt just like, ooh, this is quite rough. It's okay. Who's the leader, dude? Yeah, that's it. So at least I did get a few good matches where I was finding like the thing terrible, legitimately god awful against range comps. But if the enemy has melee tanks, then he suddenly is absolutely amazing. Because the key thing there is that they changed how his Haymaker, aka the you spam this all the time used to at least, ability works. Because it used to just give you 50 overshields and call it a day kind of thing. Now it gives you bonus health based off of the damage you do with it. And so, first of all, you have to actually do damage, which sometimes can be difficult because it's melee and all that. But if you can consistently hit the enemy tank, you actually are pretty much good as long as you're not getting focused down, and or if you are, you have a healer kind of thing. Because it really is the case of like, oh yeah, I don't have to worry as long as I keep hitting the enemy tank, I'm good. Normal enemies, however, really aren't really just like, nope, that's time you just normal punch, which at least is kind of nice. It is a case of now like there's more actual reason. Interesting. I haven't seen an immortal in a journey event before. Oof. Got totally sidetracked. I'm just gonna freeze enemies. It's just an enemy. Sorry, brain has decided to go offline. We'll be rebooting the brain shortly. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of at least good with the thing that like at least melee attacks or the basic attacks are actually useful now, because it used to be the case of like, you kind of just kind of just haymaker after haymaker. You're just like boom, boom, which was fun. But it is actually kind of, it's better for the health of the game probably to actually have like not just a one trick pony of just like, yeah, I do this thing. So it's like, yeah, could be worse, could be better. But today, when I was doing my matches, I was like, I'm gonna mess around with Thor because I've done decently on Thor before. Can't say I've done great. Actually, no, yeah, can't say I've done great, but definitely done probably my best on Thor in general. What else? Brain. But I had, yeah, this morning I had 2 matches that were just horrendous. Like, they were the worst. It was just like, I'm not sure, like, maybe I've just gotten really bad. I probably have gotten really bad. But like, this is just ridiculous. And I was getting mowed down like nothing. The first game, it was still fun, but like, it was just like, it was one of those move the cart. We didn't even get the cart. Because it was just like, we were getting annihilated, and part of it was the enemy team doing good. Part of it really was just, I'm not sure what my team was doing. Yeah, not sure at all. Though I did have fun, at least a good bit, with taking out the Penny's spider nest multiple times. To the point where I think they just kind of hard focused me, where they're just like, this is the one person who knows what to target, what to actually get done. That, or I was overreaching and as such getting my butt kicked. It was one of those 2 things, and they're very likely, both of them are very likely to be the case. Because on one hand, I could have actually been the only one doing something on that team. On the other hand, or even on the same hand, I could still be doing really bad. But like, the first 2 games were rough. I was just like getting my butt kicked, all that kind of thing. And the few times I was getting my ult, it was legitimately just getting countered either by an enemy invisible woman or Strange, because they're just like shield. And apparently, because just with like most things, it's just like the shield ends up acting as just like a line of sight, like, nope. Anything originating on the other side of that, nah, this is getting blocked by the shield. You know, this big ol' AoE thing, nah. Like, really? Really? So it's like, I kept getting my ults countered by like that. I was like, really? Like, I just want to do some damage. But the last 2 games I had were quite good. I think largely because the 3rd game ended up probably being one of those like, oh, you're losing, we should put you with, put you against a really bad team instead. And so then I did good. Yeah, punching down a lot, basically. But I had a lot of fun because we absolutely destroyed him. But it was the final game that was by far the most fun. It was rough at the beginning. We couldn't even get a foothold kind of thing. And part of it was the healers were getting their butt kicked by Spider-Man, and I would try my best to help. But it was always the case of like every time I tried to help, I just couldn't hit him because he just moved too fast. And I eventually realized, like, I'm not going to be able to help. I just cannot hit him for the life of me. So it's just the case of like, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I mean, I still worried about it, but I wasn't gonna be like, oh, I need a hard focus. And I still kind of hard focus to Spider-Man, but at the very least, it was the case of like, okay, I have a reason. It's because I'm bad at the game. It's not because I'm trying to be bad at the game. Ooh. What else? Yes, indeed. Ooh. But I got a few good old soft on that game. And like, we did end up actually winning. Because we managed to actually bring it back around. We lost the first round and then barely won the second and then did just enough for the third. But I had a few good ults where one of them, I was chasing the healers, and so the other enemy, like the tanks and DPS, basically tanks and DPS were on one side, healers were on the other. I was moving towards the healers with the ult, and then did the 180 to the psych out the DPS. Because they're like, oh, okay, they're moving away from us. We don't have to worry. Or they were focused too much on my team kind of thing. Whatever the actual case was, it felt so wonderful to just go like, nope, switch back and take out two of their DPS, half their heal or half their tank, and stunning them, and just clobbering them after that point. Granted, not clobbering. But just to like do a good enough damage, just like, and then going after the healers. But it felt so satisfying. It was like, surprise! You thought I was going the other way. Do, 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 do. I've had a few good ults that way during the final match, and then surprisingly enough, I actually got MVP. And looking at my stats, I understood why. I had the most kills. I had the least deaths. I had the most. No, I didn't have the most assists. Thor doesn't assist. But I also had the most damage on my team. On my team, at least. I don't remember the enemy team. But I had the most damage on my team, had the most final hits on my team, also, I'll say, we had a Spider-Man the entire team time. They were kind of garbage. But that's because Spider-Men are either S tier or Z tier. And Z tier being the lowest. You're so low, it's past the trash. But like, that is just like, sometimes you have good ones, sometimes you have bad ones. Okay, cat wants out. Okay, just out of my room this time. Brains. Think. Oh, no enchant. How unfortunate. Trying to think, where was I going again? Yeah, I have no idea where I was going. That's cool. Yeah, I'm just like, I have no idea where I've gone. It's like, as soon as I interrupted my focus, it's just like, and erase the whiteboard. But I had some good matches this morning. I didn't actually end up doing pretty much anything on Path of Exile like I planned this morning. But that mostly was just due to I have too much stuff in my bank, and I don't want to just chuck it out. And as such, I am stuck in a case of like, well, I want to sell it or disenchant it, but both of those things are full. And so it's just like, well, I'll get on a little bit later when the disenchanter is empty, and then throw more things in the disenchanter. And then once I have enough space, I'll probably do a blight map and have some fun. I also was originally planning on doing my homework before or after doing the stream, but I was just like, I should probably make sure I get it done beforehand. Because it was just like, I should be fine, but I don't know what we're covering this week, so let's make sure I do. It actually ended up being really easy. It was just inventory stuff, which apparently really easy. It was just like, oh yeah, just like it's right there. It's really simple, at least for me. And maybe it's, you know, something I'll end up missing later on, but I at least have high hopes. It's like, I think I can do quite well there. I got the homework done. Oh, fun thing though, is that I do plan on, after stream, I do plan on trying to do a drawing, or I'm going to do Algrab in like the back corner of it, but like a bar scene. Basically, Algrab's just kind of like sitting in the back waiting. Kind of like our Aragorn, however they say his name. It's been way too long since I've read or watched the Lord of the Rings movies. Big yawn there. But kind of like that kind of thing. But funny enough, in the movie, there isn't actually a good view of like what I want to try and draw. So it's like, how I'm gonna do this, and then I realize how I'm gonna do it. I'm going to utilize Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm going to try and get a nice positioning in one of the ends so that like I can still see Algrab in the corner, but I have like a focal point on the bar, and then use that as a reference to try and be able to actually draw an actual bar scene, because my ability to draw scenes is actually non-existent. Not even basically, it just is non-existent. I've only drawn characters by themselves, pretty much. At most, it's a character with another character. Like, I do not do background scenes or details. Largely because a lot of times, it's either a case of I have no idea / I wasn't planning on making any, you know, background details, or it's a case of like, oh, this would be great. I have no idea how to actually make that into actual, you know, an actual drawing and not just an image in my mind. Because there are a lot of things where it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. And there's a lot of things that are like, oh yeah, I can do that, and I totally can't. And the scenery stuff is like, I can admit when I'm wrong. And that is where it is just like, I know I can't. Not yet, at least. That is what learning and practice is for. And I've decided to skip the learning part and just go into the practice part. I don't know what I'm doing, but this might work. It is too often my motto of just like, I haven't learned how to do this, but I will try to do this, and sometimes it works, and sometimes I go, why can't I do this thing? Oh. What I really need to figure out is just how to look for tutorials on art and stuff better. You think it shouldn't be too difficult because yeah, YouTube exists, but some reason I find it very difficult to actually take the time to look for things. And I do legitimately mean take the time to look for. Like, I haven't even looked because I'm like, I'm not sure how to do this. Guess I won't try. Which is such the silly thing for me to do. And yet I do it. So. How fickle we can be. Of just like, I have no idea what I'm doing and I don't care to learn. And I guess that's the other thing, is like, I'd love to learn, yet I take those steps towards the learning. So it's sometimes even worse than just like, don't care, not to care, to learn. But like, you know, want to resolve an issue, want to, you know, learn, want to, you know, do something like that. And yet never taking the steps towards actually doing that. It'd be quite sad at times. I'll do that. Nice. Well, okay, back to sitting up. I keep ending up like slouching. Like I basically am just like slowly shrinking in my chair before I have to fix myself, and then I end up doing it again. Like, I know better, but I don't end up doing better. Yeah, might as well punch. Interesting. I really want to, at some point, do a Baldur's Gate 3 honor mode run, like, while streaming it. However, it is also the case of I just don't have the time. I want to say time, that probably is the wrong thing, really. Like, I just don't have the time and focus to do everything for a proper streamed honor mode run. Because really the key to it is that it's going to take a while. And so it's just like, I have to make sure that I keep doing it even after like my initial like, ooh, I feel like doing this, you know, like hyper focus is over. which can be quite difficult at times. So it's like, I gotta make sure that I keep to it week in, week out kind of thing. Because I already like theorized, like, if I do 1 to 2 hour streams, like that's going to take me about 50 streams or so just to do it on honor mode. Granted, there will be some things I'll skip, like yeah, I guess there's going to be a few things where it's like, well, I want to skip that, but how am I going to handle this other thing? Yeah, we'll see even if I can end up skipping anything. I realized, like, if I try and use the Iron Throne, that is going to be hell. I realize. Because I have to make sure at least one person survives. And I can't make any mistakes. Because I can't just reload to like, okay, can't do it this way, gotta do it that way. I gotta go in fully planned. So I might end up skipping that. How would I? Oh, but also mean that I'd have to skip a good bit of other people's stories. I could, like, I guess, you know, the key thing really is, like, I guess I could be evil for an honor mode run. That'd probably be pretty easy. Maybe not evil, but, like, you know, final, like, hello, I'm evil now. I shall now take control over this giant brain that was just proven to not actually be kept under control. Also, yeah, I just realized Rainfoot, like, actually is going to be pretty difficult as well. Just because like, it's an alright, fairly doable fight when you're doing it, you know, when you have the ability to, like, whoops, I definitely should have tried to press fate on that one. But going through it, like, oh yeah, gotta, you know, deal with the, do it with the hand that's dealt to me. That actually might be really difficult. Oh, right, actually, no, I can just use Gale. I could just go like, hello, Gale. Thank you for being here. Glad you could join us. Boom. Probably would be the most effective way to make sure I get through the honor mode. Oh, no, you don't do anything fancy. Hey, you're just annoying. You actually will be buffing up everyone, though. Because then everyone's gonna take forever to kill. I don't want to deal with that. I say while not actually finishing off, because I want a bonus turn on it. Or not a bonus turn, but want to maximize the damage I'm doing. Yeah, this really is why I was like, I want to use the Death Knoll, because it gives me a bonus turn, does some decent damage. And I can just use it as bonus damage. Okay, blow up the board, please. Let's turn there, bonus. Turn there, mouse with a little over. And I'm gonna do it. And I also could never get too far into a... Huh. Interesting. I didn't know there was a prisoner version of Luther. Interesting. Maybe a campaign only kind of thing? I don't know. You might actually have to check that. It's just epic, so yeah. Might just be a campaign version. Got sidetracked again. Yeah. Never focus on an honor mode run for too long. Largely because the only times I'm like, yeah, I'll do an honor mode run is like right after I've done a good amount of a normal run. And so it's like, I know what I'm doing. And it's like, now I don't have the interest to necessarily do it all. And then by the time I come back to it, I'll be like, I have no idea what I'm doing again. And then I'll make another one. And then it'll be that way again. It is wonderful just how easily it is to just get distracted. What else? Yeah, actually, I have no idea. It really has just been homework. The Excel homework was... Oh yeah, I also had a meltdown on Excel homework. Because combination cases of like, I don't like using Excel. There are a lot of clunky things with Excel that are not a thing with LibreOffice Calc. Like, you can do the same thing in Calc, but it's just not as bad kind of thing. Like, I was just like, how is Excel the standard? Like, I know why, but it's just like, it feels as such like, what? I wish it could work properly. And then also the latter half of the homework, I had to do a bunch of graphs. They were so annoying to make. To the point where it's just like, I'm really tempted to just not try anymore and just get half the points. But I'm doing pretty good in that class, so it's like, I don't want to sabotage my grade. So it's like, I'm gonna keep trying. Then I took 2 days off of not doing any homework. No, actually, I think it's 3 days or something. 2 to 3 days, I'll say. But yeah, it was very much just like, I don't want anything to deal with homework. I'm hoping I do not have to deal with another set of homework like that. I probably will. Oh, cool. La da do do. I really don't got anything else. Oh. My voice has gone into radio mode, I must say. Oh, actually, no, there is one last thing. My throat clears up. I was... Oh yeah, I can't remember what subreddit it was on, but someone posted about, like, they had a costume of 3 kobolds in a trench coat. And there were so many people having comments of just from a song of 3 kobolds in a trench coat. 1 at the bottom, strong as he. 2 in the middle, carrying 3. 3 in the top. 3 at the top. I can't remember the exact line. 3 pretending not to be 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Yeah, I can't remember the exact how it goes. But 1, I love. I ended up finding the music video and another music video with a different story attached to it, pretty much. And it's such a wonderful beat. I was just like, this thing's wonderful. And then it like got stuck in my head. Unfortunately, apparently not good enough. Whoops. Apparently I was not good enough to actually remember like exactly how it went. But like the beat is very satisfying, and it's just I gotta figure out what was. Let's see. Okay, it is. It is 3. 3 is pretending not to be 3 kobolds. I can't remember the cadence. That's my issue. I can't remember how the cadence is. Because it's extra long compared to, 1 in the bottom. One's at the bottom, strong as he. Two's in the middle, carrying three. Three pretending not to be. Three kobolds in a trench coat. Like, I can't remember how that, the cadence on that goes. It's slightly different. So I could, like, what I do with my gut, it's like, nope, that doesn't sound right. And so it probably isn't, and I don't remember exactly how it goes. But yeah, definitely go take a listen to the Three Kobolds in a Trenchcoat song. I don't remember who made it, but I think if you just search on YouTube the Three Kobolds in a Trenchcoat, you'll find the original person who made it, and then you'll probably also find the a cover to it as well. And it's quite enjoyable. I like how the first one is just like, oh, they've become a ruler on accident. And the second one is they've saved the day. And it's like, you know, that's a really fun way. Like, you kept the beat, you kept the kind of the flow of the flow of the music, but this, you know, made it a different style. Or different ending scenario, or not ending scenario, but different scenario basically. Still, you know, three chaotic kobolds and a trench coat. Got a bonus turn, but like, there's nothing more to get out of this. Fine, funny. But plenty of mana. But it's also been just like a great like foot tapping beat. So it's like even when I'm not humming it up and like, ooh, it's a good one. Because there's a lot of other beats where I'm like tap 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 tap. But like this one is just like, oh, nice steady beat. Like a conductor almost. Okay, where are we? Almost there. Yeah, I didn't factor in how many birds we'd actually end up getting. I think it's pretty much almost double, if not more. But I think we'll stop once we get to that milestone for the guild, because I think that should be good. Because that way, the guild gets another set of rewards. Which, oh wow, it's already been an hour. Then I shall relax. Then I shall draw. Because I'll need a recuperating period. And I can expend more energy again. Not like purple on the field. Yeah, I do that. Figured that happened. Didn't figure that would happen though. I might as well continue punching. Yeah, might as well punch. Hey, they killed my journey character. There's too much punching going on. Ooh. It popped my neck. Actually, you might have heard that. Apologies for anyone who did not like that. Assuming it was heard. And I'm assuming it was just because, yeah, I've upped the gain. Oh, dang, you actually killed him. You killed him, Jim. You killed him. That was actually a surprisingly rough battle. All due to literally one enemy. Ranch. Yeah, it is quite unfortunate, I must say. It's like once I've gone through everything I've done, like last week or plan on doing, I'm like, yeah, I have no idea to talk about. Which is understandable. I've only got so many things. Granted, I also have a giant list of different things that I'd like to do. But as it stands, I'm slowly working into that list, but I'm no longer occupied by like, okay, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that. I say, well, also, doing homework last minute. So theoretically, I'm not into, dealing with constantly, ooh, gotta do this, ooh, gotta do that. I'm just choosing to go, ooh, I need to do this, ooh, I need to do that. Only I could learn from myself and not make the same mistake 50, 20 times. Ooh. Also, hopefully the background music is somewhat audible. The key is basically to make it so that I can be talking and you can kind of hear in the background, I'm talking, you can focus on that, but when I'm not talking, that you can listen to some music faintly. That is at least the theoretical idea. My ability to balance audio is also a theoretical ability. That's actually really good. Just in one health. Blow up the board. I have that one health. Also, downside of higher level missions is that it is definitely more time consuming. Definitely more difficult, but not too terribly bad. Not yet, at least. Mostly it's just like, gotta hit you how many more times? Terrifier and terror. Ah, I have like most of the board purple, and it's just like, no matches for you. Gonna keep checking that way too often, even though I know I need to do many more battles. What's this buff? I feel like there's something extra. Maybe that's just been... I guess maybe that's just their charge symbol, and I just now noticed it. But I feel like I haven't noticed that before. Yeah, I like the Dragon Spirit, but it definitely is just a lesser version than the Dragon Soul. Because that chance to enchant really kneecaps it. Because it's like, well, if it was just, you know, guaranteed, then I could go like, eh, yeah, whatever. I'll get, you know, get the mana I need. But it's like 75% chance, well, I might as well just blow up the board. Yeah, it's overkill. but I might as well. Otherwise, it'd be really good, but yeah, Dragon Soul, a real one. Yeah, least worrying of them all. I think I'm gonna end it up soon, just because I'm getting tired for staring at the screen. So close. There's 2,000 more to go. I think I'll try and do that one, and then it's just 2,000 to go. I think I'll try and finish that up tomorrow if someone doesn't beat me to it. Oh, dang it. It's up in me. Up the bone, run up the bone, the bone, run up the bone. Keep my short of the 1,000 over. I'm getting tired, largely due to the good old-fashioned case of staring at a screen and not getting up and stretching. But I'm going to call this good enough for today. I think going forward I'll probably need to try and make breaks and stuff like that for the actual stream. That way I can go for longer streams and I don't tire myself out. As usual, I'll get up and move around during when I'm just playing normally. But when I'm streaming, I'm very much like, this is what I'm doing. I do nothing else. So I think I'll have to try and make sure that I put some breaks in going forward. But until the next stream, whenever that may end up being, I hope you all have a wonderful time. Till next time. Bye-bye.